Hi, I'm Charles Purcell, and this is The Log, another Monday edition of The Log. Oh, I was so looking forward to talking to you today. I need you today after this weekend. You gotta talk me off the ledge again. You gotta talk me off the ledge. It's just, it's you and me against the world. It's just you and me, baby. I need you today. I had a gig. In my other life, I'm a musician. That's how I make my money. And we have to have money in this world as it exists currently. Under the current system, pre-revolution, the money world, I gotta pay my rent. I gotta buy food. So I'm a musician. And I was offered a gig and I just couldn't say no. It's like, well, gotta have some money. So as much as I didn't want to go out there, I did. I've had a couple of gigs now in the COVID era. And, oh, mercy Lord. First of all, you got to work in the burbs to make any money at all. So there's a problem right there. I have got to go out to the burbs. And I'm tired of being nice about these people. I just can't do it anymore. I've tried and tried and tried to be understanding and not to mock someone else's culture. But I just can't do it anymore. I'm going to just mock away. For instance, the fellers out there sure do like their sleeveless T-shirts. There's a look for you. That's a look. Got to show off the shoulders and show off the guns. Yeah, boy. So I'm in the burbs, singing for these folks, blah, 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 singing all the hits. A couple of really large groups. One really large group came in. First of all, not to bury my lead here, the thing that really burned my clams, no social distancing, zero. And I did not see one single mask the entire day, the whole time I was there. Now, of course, the venue itself, the servers have to wear masks. It's required. I noticed the owner had a mask, but it was never on. It was always down under his chin. That's the owner. But, of course, all the servers had their masks on. And they had the tables arranged, I guess 6 feet apart. I think they measured right down to the last inch. So there's that. But no, from the patrons, the whole day out, did not see a single mask, not one. And nobody's social distancing. In fact, this group that came in, about halfway through the gig, in comes this really large group. Bunch of boys in baseball uniforms, so it was like some kind of a little league thing. So it was these boys and their parents. And it had to be, 50 people total. And what they did was just took it upon themselves, didn't talk to management or talk to the servers or anything. They just grabbed tables, were set up outside in kind of in the parking lot, basically, so they could social distance, right? That's how they set up the tables. They took part of the parking lot. So these guys in their sleeveless tees, they're strong. They're strong, buff guys. Took it upon themselves to pick up these tables, take them over to where they needed them, and rearrange them into one big, long table. Kind of a Last Supper kind of a thing, So they had all the parents at one big, long communal table. Zero social distancing, all on top of each other, mingling, walking around, sitting right next to each other, drinking, talking. And then another long communal table they set up by putting the smaller tables end to end to end for the kids, for the boys in their little baseball uniforms. And they're all on top of each other and just playing and like the world is not messed up. So these are the people we're singing to. So I'm watching this. One of the guys comes up and requests, hey, could you play Stairway to Heaven? Or if not, if you don't know that, then In Heaven There Is No Beer. So either Stairway to Heaven or In Heaven There Is No Beer, either one. The burbs. We're in the burbs here. The burbs around Milwaukee are just, I don't know. I haven't got a lot of other experience in burbs, to tell you the truth. When I've lived in other cities, I've lived in the cities themselves. I did live in Westchester County out in New York many years ago. It was a very different vibe out there. A lot of money, a lot of, Wall Street types. And the kids were all in their private school uniforms. And it was a real different vibe out in Westchester County, New York. So the bulk of my burb experience is here outside Milwaukee. And I got to tell you, I just cannot relate to these people. I try to understand, but it was just horrible. It was horrible. Yeah, I'm tired of being nice. I'm gonna mock your culture. I'm gonna mock your sleeveless tees. Take the kids out to the ball game, and then all the parents get together afterwards and ignore their kids and talk to each other, and ignore social distancing, ignore the public health emergency we're in, ignore the well-being of others, ignore your duty and responsibility to be a decent human being, and just have your good fun out in the white burbs. Oh, that's the other thing. Again, 100% non-mask wearing yesterday. Also, 100% white European Americans. There wasn't an Hispanic in the group the entire day I was there. There was one black guy. I don't know what his story was. He was on his own. He came by himself. Walked up, talked to one of the servers for a minute, and then turned around and walked out and left. I don't know what his story was. So there was the one black guy I saw. In this day and age, if you're a completely homogenous town, a completely homogenous group, if you look around and you only see yourself, that's a problem. That's an issue. I don't know how that happens in this day and age. We were talking about Martinez, California the other day, place where I spent some time. And if you're in the Bay Area in California and you're in an all-white community, you're trying really hard. That is intentional. Well, that's pretty much true anywhere these days. That's true anywhere and everywhere. If you look around and you only see white people all the time, that is not by mistake, that is by design. And you are willfully taking part in that. That is just so weird to me. You live in a backward, morally bankrupt, vapid, void, anti-culture culture in the burbs. Get out of here with this stuff. Yeah, I'm tired of being nice. No more Mr. Nice Guy. And then at the end of the gig, they made me pay for my meal. The owner tells us I'm playing with a partner, and he told my partner. Okay, so I'm hearing this secondhand from my partner, who tells me at our first break. He said, "Oh, meal is included in this gig." I said, "Oh, great," because that's what any venue operator ought to do. It's just the basics. Give your musicians a meal, for God's sakes. And most of them don't. You play at a venue that serves food, most of them will not offer. But sometimes they do, the good ones. But again, we're out in the burbs. So I'm kind of surprised. Oh, it includes a meal. So we order the meal at the second intermission, and then we get the meal at the end of the gig. That's kind of how it worked. And so I go in and pick up the meals, and he gives me a check. So here's the amount. I go, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're paying for this?" He says, "Yeah. Gave you the employee discount, though." Oh, all right. So I pay. Go out and talk to my buddy. And he says, No, that's not right. He said, "We'll take care of it." I said, "What exactly did he say?" And now this is my musician partner friend relaying the conversation that he had earlier with the owner. He said, "Well, do you want something to eat?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "All right, we'll take care of you." Ah, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. What does that mean? Well, my friend, buddy, partner took that to mean we'll take care of you, as in we will give you food, no charge. But no, it was just we'll take care of you. Like we'll make the food for you. Turns out you're going to pay though. We are going to give you the employee discount. Wow. Hey, venue operators, especially in the burbs, those of you who don't get it, give your musicians a damn meal. Look around the room at any venue you're at. The musician, I guarantee you, is making less money by half than anybody else there. The owner's making more money. The servers are making more money. The dishwashers are making more money. The bartender's making a hell of a lot more money. The lowest paid person there, I guarantee you, is the musician. Be a person. Throw in a meal. I'm done with this. I think I'm retiring. Maybe this is my official announcement today. I'm retiring as a gig musician. I've just had it. I can't play for these people. I can't do Brown Eyed Girl one more time. I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of the venue operators, the owners. You know who I like at the gigs? I like the servers. I always feel a great kinship with the servers. They all seem like pretty cool people. They're suffering and put upon, so I relate. I think we relate to each other. My happiest moment at a gig is when the server takes a little break and listens to the music. And they're just sort of, nodding their head. They're bopping along a little bit. They got other things they're probably supposed to be doing. Before the owner catches them, they take a minute just to stand and listen to us. Listen to the music, get into it. Oh, it's so nice. Because, the other patrons aren't doing it. You could have Elton John up there, and they'd still be just yakking away at each other. Nobody respects a musician anymore. Nobody sits and listens. So I love it when a server will do that. That's my happiest moment at a gig. It's you and me. It's just you and me against the world. Everybody else is just, they've lost all sense of what it is to be a decent human being. It's just you and me. We're all that's left, just you and me. And you're talking me off the ledge today. I appreciate it. I appreciate you very much. Oh, here's something. All right, first of all, a confession. Well, I guess it's not that big of a confession. Millions of people still use Facebook. Billions of people do. I know. It's much cooler to get off Facebook. I know it is. I can't bring myself to do it. I use it. I confess. There, I've said it. And it's because of you. It's because people I love are there, and they share really interesting thoughts and ideas and articles. And I don't know what I'd do, honestly, without Facebook. I honestly don't know what I'd do, because I really love my friends who fill my feed with the most interesting things. And yeah, you got to scroll past garbage occasionally, quite a lot often, but so far it's worth it, because I don't have to scroll far or long until I find a nice gem there from one of you guys. So, okay, I'm still on Facebook. Well, I made the terrible mistake. I want to just warn you not to do it. If you see anything that says sponsored, keep scrolling quickly. Don't even linger over it. They know when you linger. Don't even linger. If you see the word sponsored, just boom, keep moving. Because if you linger, they're going to take note of that, and you're going to get more of that. Even worse, and this, I don't know, I can't believe I made this mistake. What a dope. It was an ad for these really pretty ugly shirts. These ugly yellow shirts. There's a picture of like 3 or 4 shirts. And the minute I saw them, I thought, that looks like something Kramer would wear from Seinfeld. And only Kramer could get away with in his hipster doofus style. So, just on a whim, I posted a little GIF of Kramer in one of those shirts in the comment section. Oh, I know, right? How dumb is that? To actually comment on a sponsored post? Well, you can guess what happened. Immediately, my feed is flooded with ads for ugly shirts. Not just shirts, always ugly shirts. A lot of weird prints, a lot of Hawaiian stuff. So starting last night and then through this morning, I don't know how long it's going to last. Oh, Lord, the ugly shirts in my newsfeed. can't believe I made that mistake. Oh, here's another confession. In addition to scrolling Facebook occasionally, I do watch local news. You and I have talked about this a few times. I never used to watch the local news. Since COVID, now I do, because often there's kind of important information I feel like I need to get. There's a lot going on with COVID and with Black Lives Matter. Local news has become more important to me. So I watch local news. It's not only just car crashes, murders, and fires anymore. It's now actual news. But I'm getting a little disenchanted because they stopped covering the protests. They stopped covering Black Lives Matter. And you might think that the protests have stopped, but they haven't. They have not missed one single day here in Milwaukee. Not one day has passed without a pretty sizable protest. At least one in the area, often several, every single day. And if you only watch local news, you wouldn't think that's the case because they just stopped covering them. There again, I go back to Facebook. I've got a few friends who live streaming, doing some social media coverage. And there it is, right out there. Throngs of people chanting their chants, honking their horns. It's a beautiful thing. And the other thing the local news is doing that's just, they're about to lose me again. They'll start every broadcast with the numbers. Oh, another 11 billion trillion cases and another circa billion deaths. And, they give us the numbers and they tell us how horrible it is. The latest little quote from Fauci, and they'll tell us how we're all doomed. And God damn it, put on your masks and social distance and do things right and be a person in this world. Come on. And then right on the heels of that, they don't even have the decency to break it up with a commercial. I mean, right on the heels of that, they'll go to, one of the stations calls it, what do they call it? Oh, the Rebound. But all of them do this. But there's one of them here in my local viewing area that calls it the Rebound. And this is their little section of the news where they go out and do about 5 minutes of really serious PR. I mean, hawking for some local business. And it's almost always a bar or a restaurant. The most dangerous places to go. So first they do this big report on how dangerous it is out there and how we have to lock down and stay home and social distance and not go out and spread this damn virus around. And then without taking a breath, they put on this happy face, put on their little Rebound logo, and hawk for some bar or restaurant. Come on down. Oh, they got the best fish fry in town. They'll give items off the menu. They'll interview the owner, show lots of really fun pictures of clientele, people, these low-wage workers happily flipping burgers back in the kitchen, servers running their asses off. And it's all just like this happy story. Come on down. I mean, just blatantly, openly hawking some featured business for the night on the Milwaukee Rebound. What are you doing? I mean, I understand, of course. I understand that people have to make a living. But let's break this down here for a second. What people really need is to live without fear. They need to be able to live in a house or an apartment. In other words, not get kicked out. They need to eat food to stay alive. And if they have kids, they need to feed their kids. Those are the only givens, all right? There are no other givens. But they keep going with the givens. It's just a given that, well, we have to make a living. We have to earn money in order to feed ourselves and our children. Well, that's another given I don't accept. You shouldn't have to risk your life and the lives of others to go out and make money. Money itself is a concept that's unnecessary. The whole idea that we don't have enough of it is a lie. Any idea of scarcity is a lie. Billionaires and trillionaires just get richer and richer and richer, not in spite of, but because of the virus. Any justification of that system is long past any sensible rationale. So, yeah, you got to eat. And as long as we live in a money world, the pre-revolution world where money still exists, well, you deserve money, enough money to live without risking your life. It's not a given that you have to keep this business open. And that's how people are treating it, as a given. It's not. Shut the doors. Just go on hiatus until we're through this thing. I don't care if it's a year or two. I don't care. It shouldn't matter. If the world worked at all the way it ought to, we'd get through this thing together. When it's all over, then a year or two later, however long it takes, you open up the doors, you dust and sweep out the cobwebs, you fire up the register, and you go back in business. That should be a no-brainer. This whole idea that we have to keep going is just not true. It's just a huge, colossal lie perpetuated by the people with the money and the power. Sure, the owner has got mortgages. They could lose their business. But that's my point. They shouldn't have to lose their business. And in order to save their business, and then in turn save their homes, save their livelihood, which is a word I hate. I hate the word livelihood. It assumes that in order to just live, to literally live, to eat food, to drink water, to sleep in a relatively safe dwelling, you somehow have to earn that. Nobody has to earn that. It's everybody's right, just because we're human beings. There's plenty for everybody. Scarcity is a lie. So then we take it as another given that, well, the owner will lose their business and lose their quote-unquote livelihood unless they can reopen. And they can't reopen without the workers, of course. And now we got the workers who don't own a damn thing, more than half of them living paycheck to paycheck, as we've seen, as has been evident for years, and now laid bare, completely proven by the COVID crisis. So they have no choice. They're forced to come back, literally risk their lives. And for what? For what? None of it's necessary. If it's essential work, now that's different. Some things are essential. And you and I have talked about this many times. Then you make the necessary arrangements, the necessary compensation. All work should be volunteer at this point. There should be no such thing as forced labor. And what else can you call it? It's forced labor. Well, I'm going to just be on the street and die, I guess, unless I go work. How is that not forced labor? There should be no such thing as forced labor. All work at this point, all work, 100% of it, should be on a volunteer basis. And believe me, there'd be plenty of folks out there to do the essential work because people are good. Most people are great. People will grow the food. They'll distribute the food. They'll sell the food. We need food. We'll have food. Healthcare workers, sanitation workers, linemen going up and fixing wires after a storm because we need electricity. All the essential, whatever you can name that is truly essential, will get done because people are good. They'll volunteer. They'll be compensated. Anybody else who doesn't want to do it shouldn't have to do it. No such thing as forced labor. That's all. Everybody just take a year or two off. I don't care how long it takes. Oh, but we have to live our lives. God damn it, you don't have to go to Disney World to be alive. We don't have to be entertained and distracted all the time. That's the other big lie. That one's right there with scarcity. Scarcity is the biggest lie of all time. And right along with it, the biggest lie of all time is that we have to somehow be distracted and entertained 24 hours a day. You can go way deeper. You can have a lot more fun. You can find life a lot more interesting if you actually connect with the people you live with. If you actually connect with yourself and your own thoughts. If you find beauty and stimulus in your own surroundings. And we still have the whole world at our doorstep. You can still take walks and hikes, and you're not trapped in your house. We know now how this works. You wear a damn mask and you keep socially distant. And the risk is very, very low. But this constant hawking of trivialities, because we have to spend money, because people have to make their quote-unquote livelihoods. It's all backwards. It's all wrong. We're doing this wrong. We're doing it all wrong, you guys. It's down to you and me. Everyone else has lost their fucking minds. It's you and me against the world. We don't need stuff. We don't need it. We don't need burgers and drinks and fries, and we don't need to buy anything new. We don't need to be distracted. We could go for a year or two without any more dopey movies. Just put it all on hold for a while. Who cares? More than who cares, you're going to learn how ridiculous it all was all along. What were we doing? What were we doing with our lives? What a waste. All this trivial, mindless, dopey entertainment. And then it creates this anti-culture culture where all you know is Mustang Sally and Brown-Eyed Girl. No imagination. It just stifles and kills imagination so that all you have left is to get together with all your little white friends after you all watched all your little white boys play baseball and then come out to the suburban burger joint and talk about God knows what. Again, I'm not being nice anymore. Yeah, these conversations are not sophisticated. They're not enlightening. They're not discussing Kafka out there in the parking lot of their no longer socially distanced tables that they've moved end to end. No, they're a bunch of dolts. We're surrounded by dolts, just you and me against the world. And we're surrounded by dolts, and I'm tired of being nice about it. That's it. I'm tired of being nice. I'm not being nice anymore. I'm retiring from the world, and you and I are going to just try to maintain some semblance of what life actually is. So let's you and I, let's be keepers of the light in anticipation of a new renaissance. I'm down to that hope now. I'm down to that hope that someday history will look back at this time as just a dark age. And some people tried to hold on. And I know that's you and me. So thanks. Okay. I got a case of the Mondays. What's the great... Oh, I love that scene from Office Space. The main character's talking to his neighbor. Anybody ever say, look like you had a case of the Mondays? Case of the Mondays. Yeah, did anybody ever say that to you? You got a case of the Mondays? No, man. No, man, I believe if they did, I'd kick their ass. Or something to that effect. All right, so thanks for being there with me. Thanks for being a keeper of the flame. But until then, I'm all done being nice. Nope, not going to make allowances anymore. Not going to make excuses. It's just us against the world. Here we go. Here we go. All right, that's the log for today. We'll continue the fight tomorrow. All right, I'm Charles Purcell. Take care.